Hey y'all, welcome back to this week's installment of AMA Friday with Amy Miller, Recruiting in Yoga Pants. Okay, so part 2 of how do recruiters look at resumes. What can I tell you that I didn't cover last week? Hopefully something helpful. So we started with a pretty good discussion around basic qualifications and just thinking about when I'm looking at a resume, there is no robot. This guy is absolutely no help to me. He does nothing for me when I am pulling up my applicant list in my ATS and going through line by line, opening every resume and reading them all. He's nowhere to be found. So, no robots, just me or one of my sourcers. And we are going through those and we're looking at them one-on-one. We are moving people forward that meet the basic qualifications. We will further shortlist sometimes if we have a very large pool based on preferred qualifications. But the idea is everyone who fits the bill, everyone who does meet the criteria, everyone that we do think at least on paper is worth a phone call, and we want to maximize our hiring manager's time and make sure they're talking to anyone and everyone that could potentially be a fit. That's what I'm looking for. And I'm really focused on the next step. I don't look at a resume and say, oh, could I hire this person? It's too soon to know that. I just want a conversation. I just want to see if this is someone that I should put in front of a hiring manager, if this is someone that we should invest an hour in a phone conversation with. And a lot of times the answer is yes. If the basic qualifications are there, absolutely. We are screening in, we are finding reasons to talk to people, but we want to make sure that we're talking to the right people. So that's where y'all come in with your well-calibrated resumes that you started with a master resume from 2 weeks ago. Remember that? And how you're kind of decimating that information and making it a resume that is relevant and targeted and makes the story very, very easy to tell as far as how you're a fit. So that's how I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it through that BQ lens, first of all, basic qualifications lens. Here's the other thing, though, that I'm doing. I'm also looking for company fit. I know that there are a lot of roles, especially when you work for a large company like mine, there are a lot of roles that are very similar. They're not exactly the same. They may have slightly different variations. There may be a role that you fit better than the one you applied to. This just happened to me this week. This happens to me all the time, but it happened like very, very recently and it's in my memory bank, so you're gonna hear about it. Had a candidate apply to a role and wasn't a fit. I mean, the basic qualifications just weren't there. Very, very close. I totally understand why the person applied, but not quite there. But I said, gosh, that person's definitely good for something here. I don't know what, but I know that there's something, there's a certain fit, there's a certain skill there. I won't go into too much detail because, you know, I keep my day job real separate from this. But trust me, I saw something that I said, I've seen this before. This person could do this other thing. So call up one of my colleagues who works with that other team and said, hey, does this person look like a fit for your team? I think there's something there. Yeah, maybe that could work. We both, talked about it, weren't quite sure. Go to the manager, hey, call us crazy. We think there might be something here. Do you see a fit? If not, why not? If yes, where exactly? How would we proceed? And so we got some really great feedback from the manager, and frankly, our instinct was spot on. So pretty proud of that. But no, the idea is we didn't just reject this person out of hand. Oh, not a fit for this role, dump it, move on to the next. We did take a minute to kind of think, well, wait, where else? Is there something else this person could do? Is there a better fit? In this case, it was pretty clear. It was pretty evident. It's not always that easy, but just understand we are looking at your background through that lens. My job, first and foremost, is to bring great people to my company. Now, I do have a small slice of that work. I do have certain roles I'm ultimately responsible for, but I am a recruiter for my company. My job is to bring people here. My job is to make people excited about wanting to talk to us. My job is to bust myths. my job is to verify good things you've heard, right? I mean, that's really the front line of my role as a recruiter, is to make sure that people are connected to the right teams, to the right leaders, and having the right conversations. If I'm just doing this on a very transactional keyword match and dumping resumes that don't fit, I'm doing it wrong. I'm just gonna say it. I'm doing it wrong if that's what I'm doing. And I can already hear the hollers and the screams from the comments. Yes, I know there are recruiters that function that way. They shouldn't. Okay, I'll just call it out. I will call out bad behavior every time I see it, get myself in trouble. So that's how I look at resumes. I do try to take that extra step to see where this person could potentially fit elsewhere. If there's a close match or an obvious match, we try to make that happen. Another question that we got after last week's video was around LinkedIn profiles. And so how do we look at those, or what could someone potentially do to stand out? And so there's a couple things that come to mind for me. I love a very clear synopsis of who you are and what you do. That is incredibly helpful for me. So when I think about your LinkedIn real estate, and I think about I guess it's probably the about section. Maybe I should screen share this part. I don't know. We'll see if we can make that happen next week. But when I go to look at your profile, I'm going to find you based on certain keywords, right? I'm looking for someone who is software engineer, been doing it at least X number of years, maybe has an advanced degree. It depends. I don't have a degree, so I'm a fan of no degree rules personally. But for the purposes of this exercise, maybe we need a degree. I don't know. So I'm going to search for you based on some of that criteria, and LinkedIn search has a decent kind of form field you can fill out. I really don't use it that much, to be honest. I'm one of those weird recruiters that uses other tools. LinkedIn's fine. Hi, LinkedIn. I'll post my video on you later. There goes my algorithms. But I'm searching on LinkedIn. I'm plugging in those key attributes, those keywords, skills, background, etc. Now I'm finding you. So now I'm going through the profiles, right? I've got this list of searches that have come up, and I'm going through and scanning them for fit. I love a good robust about section or a summary. If you lead with, I'm this job title with X years of experience, I'm skilled in those tools, I've accomplished those things, like it should be a quick elevator pitch. So you've heard of the elevator pitch when you're out networking. Tell me about yourself. Well, I'll just do it quickly on the fly. I'm Amy Miller. I am a tech recruiter. I've been working in big tech for several years, worked for a few big names in the Seattle area. My focus is on mid to senior level engineers and placing 2 to 3 people every single month. That's my pitch. So probably not a very good one. I totally just made that up off the top of my head. But the idea is to try to give someone something they can visualize. So they can say, okay, Amy is in big tech. She's worked for a couple big names, so probably dealt with some volume, dealt with some branding, things like that. Mid to senior level engineers, okay, got it, know what that looks like. 2 to 3 people a month, okay, not a huge number of placements, but they take forever at this level, right? I mean, when you're dealing with managers or you're dealing with, these aren't necessarily fast and easy placements. So, it's a very high touch, a lot of conversations, a lot of room between application to offer. So hopefully, the idea behind that is by having that kind of cleaned up and typed into my profile, it gives a recruiting manager who might be looking for someone like me kind of an idea of what I do and what I'm good at and what I've accomplished. So a lot more we could say on that. Perhaps we want to tackle personal branding in a future video. Y'all let me know what you think. But just think about what do I want the recruiter to know about me? And what I want to know about you is what you think is important for a hiring leader to know about you. So every interaction, every social real estate, every place you have an opportunity to brag on yourself, Put it through that lens. If I were hiring someone like me, what would I need to know? That's the way that we're going to create this pitch and how we're going to build out our social profile and get noticed by the right recruiters. Hope that helps. We're at time. This 10 minutes go so fast. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully you got some good content in part 2. If you would like me to critique your LinkedIn profile, send me an email, amy@recruitinginyogapants.com. Put LinkedIn critique in the subject line so I don't miss it, and I will gladly take a look at your profile and give you some thoughts. Otherwise, any other feedback, drop us a comment, send us an email. Look forward to seeing you guys next week.